Hey there, guys. Want to talk a little bit about gun control, anti-gun legislation, and the like. Many of you that follow us on social media know that that's kind of one of my things. I work with several groups here in Illinois that fight for and help promote good legislation or suppressing or defeating bad legislation. Brought to my attention by some folks on Instagram that Dave at the Yankee Marshal had put up a challenge, so to speak, about an initiative going on in his home state of Washington. It's 1639.
So step up, help fight Bloomberg. Don't let him win. And don't let this new tactic of bankrupting pro-gun organizations win either. Because if it wins here, it'll win everywhere.
I follow these things pretty closely across the country because cases like this are important. They set precedents, which means that other states, other legal entities across the country can use those cases if they win and say, hey, look, here's what some people in another state, here's what a court proved to be constitutional. So it's important that we do pay attention to them, and it's important that collectively we promote good government. I think that's really the big thing. We all want to focus on certain issues because certain issues are important to us. Some things are not important to us. So we hone in on what's important, and we forget that the workings of government, and this is not us versus them. When I say government, I'm talking about the way our republic works. And if you guys want to write a bunch of ranting comments on here, conspiratorial wise, go ahead. I'm probably not going to respond to them. Side note, I have quite a bit of experience in the political spectrum as a vice chairman of a political party here in Illinois. No longer, but did. I raised money to help support candidates to get elected for the party. Anyway, long and the short of it is these types of initiatives, and this one is a rapidly anti-gun bill. It looked at basically classifying semi-automatic weapons as assault weapons. It also limited the age of young adults to access firearms. And it's, again, setting a precedent. That's what's really important about this. It's setting that precedent. Why is that important? Well, look at a case like McDonald versus the city of Chicago. I knew the man personally, fantastic human being, God rest his soul. But that case that made its way all the way to the Supreme Court changed laws across the United States. Shepard versus the state of Illinois, or Shepard versus Madigan, and other such cases. They might have been specific to an area, but they set a precedent. Just recently in my home state of Illinois, a friend of mine, Daniel Easterday, you can look this up, his hometown of Deerfield they passed a new law in their community basically banning a lot of weapons. Well, he had just moved. He's got a family there. He did some remodeling on the new house. Not so easy just to up and leave. So he said, you know what? I'm going to sue the city. And he did, and he won, and it was deemed unconstitutional. The law is no longer a law. So there's several ways that we affect laws. One is through the legislative process. Two is we deem them to be unconstitutional by challenging them in court. That's what's happening here. There's several organizations that are right now suing the state, basically saying this law is unconstitutional. So Dave at the Yankee Marshal posted up a challenge to other gun pages. I don't feel I'm a gun page, but we do talk about self-protection and the like. And you can donate money to the cause through a link that we're going to share right here. I put $250 of my own money into it. I know Dave and some other guys put some more money in than that. $5, $10, $50, 5,000, whatever you can afford. Those types of donations go a long way because legal defense costs money. And lawsuits sometimes can take a long time. But when laws like this get beaten in a court, it means a lot to you. It means a lot to me because that sets precedent. It also tells lawmakers that want to infringe on our constitutional rights, wait a second, we really are going to have a hard time because we now see that this stuff can get beat back. So check out the link that's here. If you want to do something, it's easy to drop $10, $20, $50, $5,000 for a cause like that. Not everybody can go and become a lobbyist or have the time because of obligations with work, family, and such to constantly be doing some of the things that others do. But money spent in the right area can do something important. And apparently this money is going directly to the legal fight against this bill. So that's all I got. Yes, we the people win when we the people pay attention, when we the people understand the mechanisms of government, we understand how they work. Again, I'm not going to go into some conspiratorial BS because I've spent enough time in my life seeing how it works. And here's my final point. Usually the prize goes to whoever invests the most energy and time. Sometimes money is involved, and money is a benefit, so to speak, of that time and energy. So somebody has to go out and source that money. Somebody has to earn it. Somebody has to now take that money and funnel it to a cause. That may be getting somebody elected president, mayor, congressman, whatever, and then that person, male or female, helps enact or repeal law. So when you see things, and yes, there are conspiracies that have existed in government, but for the most part, having been involved in things from governor races to local, like sheriff and state's attorney races, and all points in between, city council, Congress races, it comes down to people investing effort and time to win. If what you care about is repealing junk like this so that we the people can continue to exist as a society, invest some hard-earned energy in making it happen. And the easiest thing is to send some money, which is your energy because you had to earn it. Be well. Teach your kids how our republic works. Teach your children that they are an integral part of this organism that is our great nation. It does not continue without people making it happen. This is Mickey with CarryTrainer.com. I appreciate you. I hope you appreciate quick messages like this. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so. If there's something that you'd like us to chat about that we haven't yet talked about, let me know. We also have a great podcast called the Higher Line Podcast. Just shoot that into a search engine and you'll see it up in all the usual podcast places. Be well.